bring this meeting to a close. So if you're already, type ready in the chat room and let's get at it. If you're already, type ready in the chat room and let's get at it. Okay, wonderful. So ultra H2, why ultra H2? What is this ultra H2? The history of molecular hydrogen, stay with me. Now, there are about 7 naturally occurring healing waters around the world, about 7 of them naturally occurring. The Warm Spring of Georgia became very popular because there's the US president. Who knows the US president that had polio? Who knows the US president that had poliomyelitis? There's the US president that had poliomyelitis. In fact, it was even because of him that they designed automatic cars, that you don't need 2 legs to drive. What's the name of the president, the US president that had poliomyelitis? Who knows the name? Who knows the name? Very quickly. No, not Trump, not Trump, not Trump. I think he was the longest serving US president ever. And the man served for about 12 years, from 1933 to 1945, thereabouts. You don't know him? Okay, I don't want to waste our time with that, but I thought some of us here might know him. So it's Franklin, yes, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt, okay? That's the guy. And he had polio, so he was having pains from polio. Was having pains from polio, but he noticed that anytime he goes to this warm spring at Georgia to relax, he feels relief from the pains. And because of that, he kept going there. So it was named, the warm spring at Georgia in Atlanta was named, a healing spring. Now, after then, they also now found out that there are some other waters around the world that have healing properties. The Shrine of Lourdes, the God Eka Healing Spring, Saratoga, and other those jargons, okay? And then, so after several researches, they're trying to find out what is responsible for this healing property of this water. And they came to find out that it has the presence of a higher level of molecular hydrogen. Hydrogen normally is hydrogen plus oxygen, H2O, 2 molecules of hydrogen, 1 molecule of oxygen combines to form water. But this one has the presence of molecular hydrogen that is not combined in that molecule of water, okay? And they saw that molecular hydrogen was able to do that because it has certain reductive properties. Very quickly, okay, let me try to manage my time. Well, please, once I've done like 10 minutes, please notify me. Okay, because this is 15 minutes. Once I've done like 10 minutes, please notify me, because I'm going to share a video, then go ahead to tell you what you must do. Now, why is hydrogen able to have this effect? Hydrogen is the smallest molecule in the world. By far the smallest molecule in the world, okay? And it has anti-oxydant effect, anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, then anti-apoptosis effect. Now, I'm not going to go into the anti-apoptotic, that's going to confuse a lot of you, but a lot of things that people take now to stay healthy are anti-oxydants, okay? For the cream, those of us who use cream, we use antioxidant cream. Vitamin E is an antioxidant. Vitamin C, they take vitamin C so that your wound will heal fast. It's an antioxidant. Vitamin A, for bright eyes and all that. The ACEs are antioxidants. Even our supplement that we use, whereas Resveratrol in what they call Restore Life, is an antioxidant. So we have powerful antioxidants, phytonutrients. So vitamin A, hydrogen is an antioxidant. Okay, a lot of us have heard of glutathione, powerful antioxidant. Okay, it's an antioxidant. So antioxidation will always help people recover from most illness. So if there's anything like Bobo Niche, whatever, that the elixir of life that can cure virtually all diseases, it will be molecular hydrogen or anything that has antioxidant effect, because oxidative stress is responsible for almost all non-communicable diseases. So hydrogen has antioxidant effects. Now, hydrogen has anti-aging properties. Okay, there's some jargons around it. Let me not bore you with the jargon, but just take it from me. There's something that is responsible for aging, and hydrogen slows down the activity of that enzyme telomerase. Now, it has also been documented to have anti-inflammatory properties. So everything that has itis, let's start mentioning it, every disease that you've ever heard of that has itis to it, appendicitis, let's start mentioning all the itis we know. appendicitis, meningitis. Somebody give me the itis that you know, hepatitis, you know, everything that has itis. Itis is for inflammation. Okay, meningitis, cholangitis, encephalitis. Thank you. Arthritis is very popular. You are good. So you start from popular to non-popular. So everything that has the itis, hydrogen can have. Diabetes is not part of the itis. Endocarditis, pancreatitis. Thank you very much. So let's focus now. So hydrogen can have an effect against all kinds of inflammatory diseases. Okay, so it has anti-inflammatory disease, anti-inflammatory effect, anti-aging effect, and anti-oxidant effect. Let me give you this because I don't think it's in other part of my slide. Now, we all know glutathione is a powerful antioxidant. But the medical persons here, we know that the glutathione that is an antioxidant is what we call the reduced glutathione. Reduced glutathione. Reduced glutathione is just glutathione that has hydrogen added to it. That's all what it is. So glutathione with hydrogen attached to it is called reduced glutathione, and that is the one that has the antioxidant effect. So hydrogen doesn't just act on its own, it potentiates the antioxidant effect of virtually every other naturally occurring antioxidant. So it is by far the most singular, ideal, most powerful, most effective antioxidant. Is that good, very good, or excellent? Is that good, very good, or excellent? So when you take your water, you're not just taking hydrogen for its antioxidant powers. You are taking it because it potentiates other antioxidants naturally occurring that God put in your body. God did not just create you and left you that way. He created us and put some antioxidants in our body so that we can deal with all this oxidative stress. Let's move. So hydrogen is extremely unique since it is very small. Okay, since it has the capacity to act at intracellular level, so it is qualified to cross the blood-brain barrier, to enter the mitochondria, and even has the ability to enter into the nucleus of the cell under certain conditions because of its size. The glutathione, the vitamin C, even though they have powerful antioxidant effects, they cannot enter the mitochondria. Now, we all know, for the medical people here, those who did biology, mitochondria is called the powerhouse of the cell. What does that mean? That's the factories, that's the engine seat of the cell. That's where all the works of the cell is done. That's where the manufacturing, minting, and printing. So you have a lot of waste product there. So any antioxidant that is able to enter into that powerhouse will be more potent than those that can only wait for the bad things to build up, come out of the mitochondria before they can deal with it. Does it make logical sense now? Does it make logical sense now? So because of its size, it's very tiny. It's the smallest element in the world. For those of us, smallest molecule in the world, for those of us who did any form of chemistry, you know that it is the first element in the periodic table, and that is its major advantage. So the fact that it's antioxidant and it is very tiny, it can enter the brain. It can help you with brain issues. So people that has Alzheimer's disease and all that, they're going to benefit from it. It can enter the mitochondria. It can enter into the cell because of its size. Okay? It has antioxidant, anti-apoptotic, and other cytoprotective activities that are beneficial to the cell. And in terms of medicine, small is good, like I've told you. So that's why you understand from AIM Global, we are promoting nanotechnology. So here, AIM Global talk about nanotechnology. They are promoting C247 nanotechnology. They're trying to get this, get the supplements to be extremely tiny so that they can be easily absorbed. So now science tends to show that small is good. And in case of hydrogen, we are talking about this ultimate in smallness. Okay, proving the biggest medical breakthrough in the 21st century. Hydrogen appears at the lot, like I've told us this one already, and is the smallest, simplest, and most fundamental element with molecular hydrogen as the smallest molecule in the world. Now, consumption of hydrogen reduces oxidative stress, as I said before, in diverse ranges of disorders, and it affects all organ systems in the body. Okay, there are hundreds of scientific publications to justify this. So it acts on every part of the body. Every part of the body, the brain, the kidneys, the eyes, the lungs. There's a testimony somebody sent to me yesterday, and this lady could not read. Okay, I have plenty of testimony. I can't share them with us today. This lady could not read Bible in church because without using glasses. She started taking the hydrogen-rich water from Ultra H2 bottle, and now she can read. And it's not just that she can read small Bibles with tiny prints. Okay, so it has effect on the eyes, it has effect on the lungs, it has effect on the liver. Anyway, you can look at it, obstructive jaundice, hepatitis, and all that, the joint arthritis, and the ear, the heart, everywhere. Everywhere. Let me not bore you with the jargons. You can find all these jargons everywhere. IBS, inflammatory bowel disease, and all that. You can find all these jargons anywhere. Okay. Now, molecular hydrogen is the ideal antioxidant molecule. So you must know this. It's the ideal antioxidant molecule. Because of its small size, it can take care of oxidative stress in the mitochondria. There are 1 million antioxidants in the world, but this is the ideal because of its size. Okay, it is one of the very few, if not the only antioxidants that can enter into the mitochondria. So hydrogen directly protects the mitochondria that are exposed to reactive oxygen species. I've said that already. Preliminary clinical trial shows that drinking hydrogen dissolved water seems to improve the pathology of mitochondrial disease. So drinking hydrogen-rich water stimulates energy metabolism and all that. Now, these are 10 reasons documented by Thomas Robb why everybody needs molecular hydrogen, including you in this meeting, including you that does not have money, that think you don't have money. You need the hydrogen. Now, it improves the skin and fights aging. I already told us that. May help prevent diabetes, may battle cancerous tumors, fight autoimmune diseases, reduce pain associated with rheumatoid arthritis, correct DNA damage, combat allergies, help reduce fat, and improves cognitive functions and faster spot injury recovery. Now, that is for molecular hydrogen. Where does Ultra H2 come in? Where does Ultra H2 come in? Now, hydrogen can be generated not just via Ultra H2. There are other ways you can generate hydrogen. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Julia. There are other ways you can generate hydrogen. Okay, you can generate it using magnesium hydroxide, dissolve it in water, some jargons. It will displace hydrogen from water, and you now have molecular hydrogen, But that one is going to be that one is not going to be cost effective. What that means is anytime you want to generate hydrogen with rich water, you have to buy magnesium hydroxide. So you have to keep spending money, and it doesn't generate enough. Secondly, there are other ways. Now, another way they used to generate hydrogen, molecular hydrogen, is through the process of electrolysis. Another jargon you might not even need. Please, you don't need slides. Focus now. Who is looking for slides? This slide you came here to listen to, you came to listen to me. Please focus. Okay? Now, another way of generating molecular hydrogen is through the process of electrolysis. Electrolysis. Okay, electrolysis is the process of when electricity passes through water or passes through a compound and split it into its components. So it passes through water, electricity passes through. That's how this is generated. Electricity passing through water and splits it into hydrogen and oxygen. So you have more hydrogen because if you look at the bottle very well, if you pick your bottle, look at it very well, there's this hole by the side. Okay, there's this hole by the side. Look at this other side, there's this hole by the side. You can see it. Okay, so after converting it to breaking into hydrogen and oxygen, the oxygen comes out from this hole. So this is the oxygen extractor pot, then retaining more hydrogen in the water. So the water now has more hydrogen molecule. The same reason why you should not be generating hydrogen, you should not be using this in the kitchen or where there's fire. You press it on, oxygen is combustible, we know that. Okay, let's move. So it generates it via electrolysis. However, there are 1 million bottles in the world. 1 million nitrogen bottles that can generate water. They are different. If you go, you see plenty. There's even the one that they are selling for 5K self. There's one they are selling for 75,000, 25. I don't even know whether that one is generating nitrogen or is generating carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide or nitrogen. I don't know what it's generating. So you can go and buy that one and be taking whatever. However, these have been documented to generate hydrogen in adequate quantity. Now, when you go to the doctor to see a doctor to give you a prescription, the doctor will tell you to take 2 tablets, 1 tablet, 3 tablets, 4 tablets, as the case may be, maybe 2 times a day, maybe for 1 week. Now, if it's a medication that you need 4 tablets and the doctor asks you to take 1 tablet, you will never get healed. If it's a medication that you need 2 tablets and the doctor asks you to take 1 tablet, you will never recover. So it is not just about the bottle generating hydrogen. It's about it generating it in sufficient quantity. So somebody type sufficient quantity in the chat very quickly. Okay, so what is defined as sufficient quantity? Sufficient quantity, based on some research done so far, has been documented as having at least over 1,000 parts per billion of molecular hydrogen. So some other bottles might generate, but they do not generate in sufficient quantity. However, this Ultra H2 bottle, that's where Ultra H2 bottle comes in. Ultra H2 bottle generates up to 1,500 parts per billion. Amazing. 1,500 parts per billion. Amazing. Okay, and it turns potable water into a super antioxidant water and is the highest documented mobile molecular hydrogen generator. Now, there are the ones that can generate more than 1,500 parts per billion, but they are big machines. You can find them in the hospital. You know, when they start trying to generate hydrogen outside those waters, they develop big machines, you know, and then you find them in some big specialized hospitals. But this is the highest mobile generator of hydrogen, okay, with over 800 human clinical trials regarding molecular hydrogen. It's an advanced Japanese technology made in South Korea. So it is not just any bottle, okay?